Let's take a walk down Commitment Lane on 94 feet of UNC.
Doherty to Black. The tie, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
Swicker for the defense and the rebound. That's a good effort by Swicker.
Stackout freaking in on Park. Rebound dunk is good, and he gets fouled by Park. Oh my goodness, what a dunk by Stackout.
I think that he brought him back so quickly, but you know what? They're down the it's fair to
the glass, no good. Rebound followed by Hansbrough. Good! Carolina.
inside 30 overall. Love, top of the key.
Alice, the belt is over. Carolina. The Tar Heels have won the national championship.
And that is it. There is a new team in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title. Captain, any final. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. And this year, the confetti is going to fall to North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's up, everybody? It is Monday, September 9th. You are tuned in to the 94 Feet of UNC podcast. I am your host, Linzel Graham. I got a big special guest in the building with me today. She decided to stop in to the Zell Dome, of course. Told you all to make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any content that I provide for you guys. Because once again, you never know who's going to stop in at the Zell Dome here on 94 Feet of UNC. My special guest today is, let me make sure I get this right. Is it Taliyah or
Taliyah.
Taliyah?
Yeah.
Taliyah Henderson is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The top 2025 commitment for the UNC Women Tar Heels. So she is in the building today. She decided to stop by for a few minutes. We're just going to chop it up a little bit, see how things has been going and things like that. Just talk to her a little bit. Taliyah, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be here. Good to be in the dome. Yeah, excited.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I try to reach out to a lot of people, you know, and things like that. Sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't. So, you know, I appreciate you stopping by. It's an honor to be able to talk to you before you really get busy in the Tar Heel world, I guess you could say, because it's going to get very busy when you come this way and you get on campus and things like that. So I'm glad that I could just get to you before everybody else could.
Of course. I
I'm
appreciate
fortunate
you
enough
having
to be
me
able
here.
to do. Absolutely. So, Taliyah, tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we get into some of the topics that we got today.
Well, as you introduced me, my name is Taliyah Henderson. I am from Tucson, Arizona. I am a senior in high school and officially committed to North Carolina.
Absolutely.
Committed.
She is a Tar Heel. That's right. Go ahead, Taliyah. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just said I committed 2 weeks ago, so it's been great. Yeah, can't stop smiling about it.
Hey, listen, it's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. I'm sure you've learned that by now, right? So
Yes,
that's the
absolutely.
motto over here. Yeah. Wait a minute. GDTB ATH. I got to make sure I get it right sometimes. It's tongue twist. So Taliyah, so let's just jump right into things real quick. So the news broke. Well, first off, how did you become a Tar Heel fan? Let me ask that first.
So there's actually a little bit of a backstory. Before basketball, I used to run track, and I had the opportunity to run nationals in North Carolina Went with my dad, and on my off days, I went to go visit the University of North Carolina and a few other schools, and I loved it. I was one of the first people. They were redoing the court. I was able to kind of walk on it. I was able to see what an amazing campus in a place that North Carolina is. I told my dad that I already knew that I wanted to live there when I was older. And then when I started getting recruited and I had the opportunity and blessing to have the offer from North Carolina and step foot back on campus, it was completely different experience. I loved it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can imagine how surreal it just feels to be able to know um, that you're going to be wearing the Carolina Blue Argyle. Like that is, I can only imagine. Like it's always been a dream of mine to play at Carolina. Like I always wanted to put on one of those jerseys and get on to the Roy Williams court and just be able to play. But of course, that never happened for me. But I mean, it is what it is. I became a diehard fan. Kind of grew up a long time ago, many ages ago. But I can only imagine what it's going to, or what it just feels like, just to be able to even receive a letter from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, just to say, "Hey, we want you to come and play
Yeah.
for us." Like I don't even know how I would react to that. Like I just don't know. So I can imagine completely like how that must feel. So I mean, congratulations to you. We're so happy to have you, of course. I'm sure Coach Banghart is extremely ecstatic. I'm sure the girls on the team are. Um, and I just can't wait for you to come on campus, come to see you in some of the games, just all of the above. So congratulations and just kudos to you for that. So take us through the process of what it was like to, I guess, commit to UNC. Like, how did that all come about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't start with UNC. I was blessed to have many offers and opportunities early, starting with my first one at an 8th grade camp, and then continuing. Like I said, I built tons of great relationships, met tons of great people, seen tons of different programs, different styles of play, different types of coaching. And everyone honestly just made me figure out what I want in a college. And then when I stepped foot on um, North Carolina's campus, it was that part in itself made me feel like home. It felt like home, right? Kind of like little backstory I told you, right? Surreal being there.
Right.
And then three things that are really important to me. One, the feel, right? I want to be able to be there and be like, wow, I could live here for all 4 years. I think the next thing was player development. I have goals and aspirations to continue to play for Team Canada, to play in the WNBA, overseas, whatever it may be. On the athletic side, just continue to go to another level and continue to grow. And during my visit, Coach Banghart sat me down with my parents, and for about an hour, we talked about how I would be getting better. It wasn't like a cookie cutter plan where you could send it to 17 other players. It was specifically for me, my weaknesses, my strengths. They incorporated film. They incorporated me and how they see me in the style of play. Another thing about that, I love the style of play. They play a little bit different than how I'm used to, but I understand and can see just by watching practice where I can fit, where they see me fitting, and how I can make plays off of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Go
part. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, please. Go ahead. I'm listening. This is very good and deep. So I'm listening.
Thank you. So I think the last part, for high school, I go to college prep. My parents have raised me to be an A+, 4.0 student, I take my grades very seriously, and so does my family. So with that being said, I wanted to choose a strong academic school, right? There's been a lot of articles around saying that North Carolina is really like the nearest thing to an Ivy League. I want to major in sports journalism and broadcasting, and North Carolina has one of the top programs in the nation for that. So that was a checklist on that, all the opportunities, internships, and then me being in the sport as well. That leads to open doors. So it was really academics checked off, athletics checked off, family feel when I stepped on. The staff is amazing. I've created bonds with them before I got the offer, after I got the offer, and then when I stepped on campus, I knew the girls are amazing. I loved my time with them, loved hanging out with them, and they're real. There are certain places where they'll hide a little bit or whatever it may be, but these girls gave me their 100% authentic selves. They gave me the truth. I asked tons of questions and they were totally open to it. It was really great. Like being so far from home, that feel and that acceptance from even the team and staff for the few days I was there made me feel like I could live on the other side of the country and be okay with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a couple of key things that I noticed that you said here was, number one, player development and how Coach Banghart catered to specifically you. And like you said, it wasn't cookie cutter to where it was like a copy and paste, something that she could just present to, like you said, 17 other different players or whatever the case may be. So that was one of the things that stuck out to me. Number two, when you mentioned broadcasting, I don't know if you know, but like Ivory Latta, she's a UNC alum. She's on the ACC network. So that she really took her, I guess, skills and things from off the court to now being a basketball analyst. Like, she does an amazing job with the ACC network. So, and then just the fact of you saying with the academics and having a 4.0 grade point average, like, it's just it's so many things. It just really defines what Carolina is. But regardless of what people say from the outside of about the college or anything like that, some people just talk crazy. But I tell people all the time, especially when it comes on the men's side, North Carolina is a school of morality, integrity, dignity, and they really put the focus in on their players, their students, everything as a whole. So, that's just commendable for them, of course, to notice that, and for you to be able to notice that as well. So, hats off to you for that. Being able to travel, like you said, across the country, being that far from home, that's a big leap to go from Arizona. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would do the same thing. Like, if my favorite school was UCLA and I'm living in North Carolina, like, and I get the offer from UCLA, well, guess what? I'm out of here. I'm gone, like, for sure. Like, just because of the fact that I get the chance and the opportunity to play for my favorite school. Why wouldn't I go? Like, that would be just crazy. So, commendable. Like, commendable. I think it's a remarkable story of how how that all came about. And that's just man, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Like, that is remarkable for sure. So let me ask you this: what about who would you say are like players that you look up to in regards? It could be players in college. It could be WNBA. I know some female players that say, hey, they relate to like Steph Curry's and people like that. Like, so who would be the players that you look up to when it comes to basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of them, since I honestly started watching basketball, was Diamond Miller. She was at Maryland when I started really watching her. She's very lengthy. She has a quick first step, and she drives, and she's able to finish in different ways. She's worked on her pull-up game, or at least she did in college. That part, like every time I'd watch her, I'd pause, and whatever move she'd do, I'd go practice it over and over again, like in the living room, and then try to incorporate it in my workout. I pretty much took a lot of my game from her. Satu Sabali, that used to play at Oregon. Every time she came to Arizona, I was there watching her, trying to see how she is. She's full of energy. She's able to use her body and her strength to her advantage, and like I said, drive to the basket. Obviously, her shot as well, but driving is one of my specialties. One of the things that makes me who I am. Taking advantage of mismatches and kind of watching those two have really, really been an eye opener for my game. Another person, right. I know everybody will say probably Caitlin Clark. I've watched her since she was a freshman. Seeing her grow, seeing her develop. I think it's really important not only watching yourself or watching her and what she does for herself, but rather what she does for the team. She always has an equal amount of assists. She always has more than 10, right? She's always trying to lift her team up. And I think that's a really important characteristic or like factor that she adds to the game or adds to her game that makes basketball fun to watch. So kind of making sure that comes with me, whether it's my energy, whether it's me hyping somebody up, whatever it is, whatever Coach Banghart wants me to do in college. I mean, I'm going to give it my 112% effort, try to help my team in the best way possible, accomplish goals like ACC championship, national championship, whatever it may be, with my strengths and kind of, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like you mentioned the Caitlin Clarks. That's probably the name to always revert back to when people mention Caitlin Clark. Like I've been watching the WNBA like when the WNBA started, basically. Look at me telling on myself as far as my age. But but like I know like the Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie's, Rebecca Lobos. Like I know all about the WNBA. I've been watching it since day one, and I've seen it grow over the years. And what it has never been to the level of where it is now. And I will say that Caitlin Clark has really changed the game of women's basketball. I mean, she's taken it to a totally different hiatus, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. Absolutely. Because more and more women are really starting to watch sports, and things like that. I mean, selling out games is humongous on the women's side because that's never happened. So right. Things are monumental right now that she's doing and putting in place. And I'm not just going to say her, but you got your Angel Reese's, you got I mean, there's so many. Some of them I can't even mention. I don't even know their name.
Anybody that has came into the draft, I feel like has came and elevated this game. Whether it's Alyssa Peely from Utah, there's so many people where you like WNBA wasn't as fun to watch. A lot of people said that. A lot of people said that to me, which is crazy. But yeah, because it's growing and it's such a game where it's gonna get better, and it's these girls that came in and even the veterans have made it to watch where basketball's fun, and everybody's just now jumping on the train. So it's good to see that other people care about women's basketball. It is growing, and I think it's better than men's basketball. Little biased.
Ooh. Well, okay. Well, it depends. Are we talking college basketball or NBA basketball?
college basketball. I think it might upcome NBA eventually, but college basketball is strong right
I
now.
don't know about that. I don't know if I can agree with that one because I'm a college basketball head, like over any other sport. The NBA fell off to me. I mean, I still watch it from time to time. I'm a Knicks fan, so honestly, in the past, I didn't have a whole lot to cheer for. Now I do. My Knicks are doing a great job. We're getting some really good players in and things like that. But um, I grew up in the Jordan era, and stuff like that. Back then, the NBA was everything. It was
Absolutely.
everything. I mean, you had the Knicks and Miami rivals. You had the Bulls and Celtics, Bulls and Lakers, Bulls and Pistons. Like it was just so many back
Yeah.
then. So now it's just become entertainment to me. The NBA is it's kind of like related to the All-Star game. Like in the All-Star game, they don't play defense or anything like that. Everybody is always just dunking, they just kind of showing off for the fans. And to me, that's what the NBA has become. I think it's ego driven.
Yeah.
Nowadays, players just wanting to get all of the money, which I'm not mad at, get your money. But
Right.
at the same time, you got fans that travel a long ways to come and see some of you guys or whatever. You take the Lakers, for instance. The Lakers only come to like New York once, I think, every year. Like they only
Yeah.
play the Knicks twice every year. So it's like if I'm traveling and I want to see LeBron James and I'm not going to LA to see him, but I got to go to New York to see him. But then I get there and now I find out he's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story. Like now it's just a little bit too much. So I'm into college. Like college is my thing. Like I just think the kids have more to play for. The rivals, the games are better, and I mean it's just a better feel. Like you got the crowds make things a lot better because they don't do that in the NBA. So it's a lot more. It's a lot to it in college more so than the NBA. So,
Definitely.
but hey, I love I love the WNBA. It is really it's growing. It used to be boring. I will admit that, but at the same time, it was still competitive. Like the Dawn Staleys and Cheryl Swoops and all of them and stuff. It was still competitive. So but it is what it is. I guess you could say. So let me ask
We'll
you
agree to disagree.
this. Yeah, there we go. We could do that. We could do that. So let me ask you, what advice would you give like young ladies coming up when it comes to you know skills and like player development internally within themselves when it comes to like uh of course they pick their own schools and things like that, but how to go about doing things, just some advice that you would give them because some may want to know some of these things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As much as I'd love for everybody to be a Tar Heel with me, I know everybody has to pick what they want. I think that's really important. One of the first things is to know what you want in college, to know what you want for yourself. For me, academics is something that I've grown up with. Community and family is also important to me, and the player development for me, so I can go and achieve my goals. Whatever it is for anybody, I mean, go ahead and do it. Look for a college that checks either all of those boxes or 99% of those boxes. Another thing, I think recruiting process is long and it's hard and it sometimes can be tiring. So making sure to kind of set boundaries, set days, set times, so that you can have your own time and have your family time. Like I don't call on Sundays. I make sure that time is for my family. And I have school, I have workouts, I have beginning preseason and weight training. So, and extra work, right? You got to always get work in. Tons. You need to get, obviously for me, what worked for me was to get in the gym. And because of that, I always wanted to be in the gym. So kind of balancing out calls was a little bit harder for me. But we made it work. There's a lot of calls in the car. Or I set a time aside and be like, hold on, let me go call this coach real quick. And then I go back to having fun. So balancing calls and recruiting, then getting in the gym. I think that's the biggest part. The more reps you do, right, getting seen, being on a club team where you have opportunities to get seen by college coaches, that's kind of more parent and coach things. But you want people to see your hard work. So, and I got the opportunity and blessing to do that, whether it was with AT Supreme or Jason Kidd. Like I said, got the amazing opportunity to show people who I am and to show that a small town girl can achieve her dreams too. So
absolutely. Well, there you have it, young ladies. Learn from Taliyah. Like there's the book right there. Like I mean, it's free 99. There you go, right there. Like if you ever need this info, just back the show up just for just a few seconds or a couple minutes and just let it replay. So, I mean, absolutely, that's great advice, Taliyah. Like I couldn't have said it any better. To be honest with you, I mean, of course, you're in a different situation than I'm in, so of course you could tell them a lot better than I probably could. Like I probably would have been like, listen, just hard work. Like just put in the hard work. Like you broke it down for me. So, hey, that works. I'll let you speak for me. I'll let you do that for me or whatever. So I guess now I do want to ask this question because I know that you're going through a rehab process, if I'm not mistaken, or physical therapy or something like that. So what happened?
Yes. So my last summer, one of the top games, I tore my ACL, unfortunately. Since then, it was late July. I've been getting as much work in, getting prepped for surgery. Had surgery 2 weeks ago. Then and I'm now starting rehab. I am about 20 days out. So not too long, but enough time where I'm feeling better. I'm determined to get back to better than where I was, and making sure that I'm supporting my team on the way, high school and North Carolina team.
Yeah. Listen, I already know whenever you come this way, they some of the best physical therapists and doctors and everything that they got over this way. So I'm sure that you're gonna be well taken care of. And that's what they do when it comes to us to the Carolina players. Like they may break a leg and then the next game they right back on the court because it's like they done doctored something up and I mean I'd be like scratch my head like, man, that's incredible. Like how did they do it? Like I don't know, but I mean, hey, it's they're gonna make it. I'm sure that they're gonna make sure that you're taken care of, I guess.
Absolutely.
So,
and until then, I have a great PT place that is taking care of me and helping me push beyond my limits. So until then, I'm pretty good over here.
Yeah. So for those out there that don't know, because I know and I haven't really explained it to everybody just yet, but tell everybody what the difference between official and unofficial visits are.
Of course. Yeah. So unofficial visits are when you go to college. They usually invite you, and that you have to kind of pay for everything. There's certain really strict rules that you have to follow. But again, great experience. I took many unofficials. You can have an offer there. You don't need an offer to go visit, as long as you get like invited or everything. I think that's important part. Officials kind of the fancy stuff. Usually it is when you have an offer. You get to see a little bit more. You get to hang out with the girls more. There's more freedom there. Get to see all the nice places. I think unofficials are great to see what places are like. Not always with the glitz and glam, but with North Carolina, that didn't matter to me. So it was like you could tell, like the feeling. Yeah, you gotta see it, or you gotta feel it to kind of understand what I'm talking about. But once you step on a campus, regardless if it's an unofficial, an official, you'll know.
Yeah. It gives that. North Carolina just gives that feeling. Like, I tell the people all the time, like, even if you don't even go to the campus, just go down Franklin Street.
Yeah.
If you go down Franklin Street, like, that's a feeling itself.
Absolutely.
And then once you step on campus, it's a whole nother feeling. But it's great feelings. Like, I'll never forget Armando Baycott made the tweet or something like that, and he always said, "Do not come to visit UNC if you don't plan on committing." And I totally understand it, because, like I said, it just gives off a feeling that is just unexplainable. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, and I'm not even a student there, but, like, just being when I was there on Franklin Street and places like that, like, it was a feeling that came over me. So, I haven't been out there yet after Carolina beats Duke, but I listen. I could totally imagine what that is like. I don't even know if I want to be out there for that. I'm gonna be honest.
I heard it's game changing.
Oh my God, it's. I mean, it's so big that it. I mean, of course, it makes the news every time that they play each other. It makes the news, whether they beat us or we beat them. It's going on the news, and then they're gonna give you a helicopter view of it. You're gonna see everybody running down the streets from different directions. Everybody meets right there in the middle of the street, and I mean, it is just crazy. So I can imagine whenever you come on campus and Carolina, beats Duke and things like that. Like, I'm sure you're gonna get that experience. I mean, enjoy yourself, of course. Don't hurt yourself, because you got games to play as well.
Absolutely.
But have enough fun for me and my wife. Have enough fun for the both of us, for sure. Like, because I can rest assured that we probably won't be out there. We won't be out there. So I mean, but it is what it is. So, let me ask you this: what are things? I think you kind of touched on this earlier, I think, and I might have missed it. But what are things that you are looking forward to in regards to, like, expanding your game? Like, like, yeah. What are things that you are trying to do in that regard?
Yeah. Honestly, like, that's kind of a loaded question. Personally, my personal goal is to continue to be a consistent shooter, continually get better at my ball handling, getting better at my finishing around the rim, being able to do counter moves. I'm not the tallest or anything like that on this type of college floor. So you're going to have to finesse some things, use more skill than athleticism. So kind of growing my game in that way. And honestly, away from the personal side, whatever Coach Banghart wants me to do, whatever she wants me to be, to win a national championship, ACC championship, or even a game, like, I'm prepared to do whatever. She's going to get my 112% energy and effort, whatever it is, just trying to grow as a basketball player in every way possible, IQ wise as well, but also as a person. I think that's really important. And I know Coach Banghart is going to do that for me.
Yeah. I truly believe that. I mean, Coach, I don't know Coach Banghart personally. I've actually been trying to reach out to her because I wanted to actually have a talk with her, see if she would come on and be a guest one of these days. But I understand she's completely busy, and I totally understand. But I can tell what type of coach she is. Just from, I mean, the because I watch a lot of the like a lot of reels and things like that, and I love the fact of how she interacts with the players off the court. Like, I think a few days ago I watched a challenge. It was one of the challenges where like her and I forgot the other two assistant coaches or whatever, but they called some of the players, and they was just sitting there with straight faces, like, and they call them on video, and they had the girls was just sitting there like, what did I do? Like, are y'all joking with us? Are y'all pranking us or whatever? And they was just like, yeah, you in trouble, like for sure. And then she would just be like, love you, and then hang up on him. Like, I'm like, oh, that's the type of relationship and that just defines, to me, that defines the type of woman that she is and what type of coach that she is. Like, I just love the fact of how she interacts with her players. So there's no doubt in my mind. I know that Coach Bankhart is going to make sure that she gives you her best, and I'm sure vice versa. You would want to give her your best. So that's just great. I love it. I love it. So all right. So two more questions. Number one, what does okay? We can't be cliche on one of these. On this question here, we can't be cliche because I already know what it would be. What success would be for Taliyah at Carolina. I already know what that is. I mean, we all know the championship, of course. But what are okay, I'll change it up a little bit. What are some things that you just can't wait to be a part of, or any particular games that you're ready to be in the environment of, or whatever the case may be when it comes to Carolina and your career at UNC? What are some things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of the community. Whether it's
Hmm.
supporting girls soccer, football, whatever it may be, boys, men's basketball. I want to be a part of the community that supports other sports. I think that's really important. I understand right now women's basketball is getting a lot, but you can't forget about any other sport, or especially the sports that don't get as much attention. Being a part of that community as well, like being able to look by you and be like, man, that person's going to be successful in life. Like that part's going to be super
Right.
exciting. Obviously, I would like to partake in this rivalry against Duke. I would love to play in a Duke game. Super excited for that. But yeah, just really getting to be on campus, being able to have that family feel all the time. Like I said, supporting, being part of the community, and just like having fun on and off the court.
Yeah.
I think it's special.
And I think that's exactly probably what's going to happen. The Now, granted, I guess when you come next year, some of the girls won't be there. If I'm not mistaken, I do know two of them, Alyssa Utsby and Lexi. I think both of them are fifth year grads. I think, or fifth year. Uh, yeah, fifth year seniors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, you still got Blanca Thomas, uh, India, McPherson. Like there's so many, and I'm getting more and more into the ladies basketball. I've always watched Carolina women's basketball. Like, I think sometimes the women's games do get very more exciting than some of the men's games. Like,
Thank
you
you.
know, sometimes I'll admit to that, especially when it comes to like some of the big games for the women would be uh, UNC South Carolina.
Mhm.
That's always a good one. Of course, UNC and Duke, both of them. Like the back and forth, UNC, NC States, and then it just all depends on some of the other games as far as non-conference games. Some of the conference games, we getting more and more into them. I'll say that, but I have been watching a lot more of them, and my father he does too. Like he's like, "Oh, did you see the girls last night?" And I'm like, "Nah, nah, pops, I missed it, buddy. I missed it. Oh man, them girls was balling, man." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like he brings out that '60s feel, like to me, like that '60s talk, and I'm like, "Well, okay, pop. All right, it's all good. It's all good. I'll try and check it out. I'll get some highlights or something like that." So it's cool. But I'm definitely excited for this season and next season and the seasons to come. Of course, with you, I think Nyla, Nyla
Yep.
Brooks.
Nyla Brooks. Yep.
Yeah, yep. So looking forward to seeing her. Uh, I think I think Coach Banghart is doing something very different um, under the radar that a lot of people probably don't notice, but I notice it. I see what she's doing, but I'm not gonna put it nothing out there. I'm not. I'm keep my lips sealed, but I see what she's doing. It is very good, very good. That's all I'll say. It's very good. So, Coach Banghart, keep doing your thing for sure. So, all right, Taliyah, last question.
Yes. Ready.
What during her off time when she's not playing basketball and or working out or going to class or anything like that, what does what are Taliyah's hobbies or what does Taliyah like to do that the people out there don't know?
Yeah. Before I wanted to be a full-time basketball player. I wanted to be a baker. I love baking. Now that I kind of
Okay,
have to sideline from basketball for a little bit, I've kind of opened that passion back up just in like my spare time. I like to read as well. It's hard to do it while you're in season for basketball, so I gotta pick and choose. But yeah, baking
I
and
got a
reading
great
are
book
kind
for you. I ain't mean to cut you off because I
of
want you to
okay.
finish, but I got a great book for you to read. I actually just got my copy last week, but I had Coach Bill Robinson on last week. So he just released his book, Carolina Basketball School History, Stories, and Drills. It's 251 pages on Amazon. Like,
I love that. Yes, and it's
really good
coaching.
book.
I
Really
I do
good book.
coach in my I do coach in my free time, so I'll help some. I'd love some drills.
Yeah. So really, really good book. I just started it a few days ago, but I haven't gotten too deep into it. But I mean, Coach Bill Robinson, he's actually the head coach at the Milligan Buffaloes out in Eastern Tennessee. But
Mhm.
he's well connected with UNC. He goes to a lot of the camps, helps out. He knows a lot of the players, and he's very, very, very in tune with the university. So I great so far, really good book, really good book. So if you get a
All
chance,
right.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
Yes,
I'll send you the
please
link.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he would love that. He's gonna watch this episode because he's a avid listener and supporter. Like I said, I just had him on last week. Really good guy, really good guy. So, but yeah, I'll make sure I get that link to you. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to
No
plug that
worries.
in there real quick for you to know that. But yes, continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah, those kind of 2.5, 3 are mine. So baking, reading, and then I do coach in my spare time. So kind of adding another level to the game, right? Trying to make adjustments for my players, being able to give them opportunities as well, just to play, to get better, skill wise, playing wise, whatever it may be. And it's helpful to have someone that's not as, not as old or older. Like I'm
Right.
able to kind of still relate to these girls. Or I was in their
Yeah.
shoes literally like 4 years ago, and making sure that I can make it relatable and also make sure that it's fun. Right. Yeah. So it's just kind of balancing that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I got you. So when you say coaching, so you're coaching young ladies in basketball and things as well, or like
Yes.
what kind of okay. So you got a team already.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Small
Taliyah do a
Tucson
big
team.
thing.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
live in a very small town called Vail, Arizona, and it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes away from Tucson. But there are a lot of basketball players out here, and they don't always get the
Mhm.
opportunities because, again, small cities. So making sure that I can help them in any way, help them get better, whether it's if they have goals to go to the next level like me, or trying to just be better for high school or whatever it may be. It's a hobby. It doesn't matter. I just being able to be there for these girls, helping them, filling my bucket up, making me happy as well, and being around the game. I think that's the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so that's I mean, I what can I say? Like I'm blown away. I was not expecting all of this information, Taliyah. I'm not gonna even gonna lie to you. Like I was just she's a commitment to Carolina and she's coming. Like I did not expect the whole. Oh, she's a coach and okay. I got you. So doing some things. How they gonna feel when it's time for you to leave? Now, I mean,
Yeah, I'll break my heart,
it's gonna
but
be.
I'll come back and visit. So they'll be good. They'll be in good
There you
hands.
go. Hey, bring them some Carolina gear.
Yes,
There
that's
you
the
go, right
plan.
there.
That's the
That
plan. Gotta get there first.
there you go. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Let's not. Yeah, let's not rush it. You're right. You're right. I'm rushing things, I guess, or whatever. I'm just excited. Like I'm excited for this year and next and the years to come. Like I really am. I think college basketball is just so amazing. I just hope it doesn't fade away behind all of this NIL stuff. Like and I'm not mad at the NIL stuff, but at some point some things have to be the NCAA has to do some things and some regulations in my eyes, but that's a whole nother topic for itself or whatever. So it,
Right.
it, it is what it is. So Taliyah, let everyone know where they can find you at.
Yes, I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's under my name, Taliyah_Hen3. I'm kind of posting or starting to continue to post about my ACL recovery, what it looks like day to day life of me. I have any questions about ACL recruiting, I'd love to help. Love to help other people, and go Heels.
That's right. Go Heels for sure. So, and everybody, don't worry. All of Taliyah's information will be in the description. So you won't have to worry about that. So make sure that you all get out there as far as in this Tar Heel family. I'm sure the follows are gonna jump sky high here very soon. So I mean, as it always does. I think a lot of people right now they just so hyped up about football right now, so it's kind of like basketball stuff hasn't sunk in just yet. But that's one of the reasons why I'm still out here. Like all of
Love
these
it.
other podcasts they're talking about, they're talking about football and everything, and no, we do basketball over here. Like
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's why
Absolutely.
that's why it's 94 feet. Yeah, so the thing is that I'm trying to do is I'm starting to jump into women's because this is going to be a men's and women's basketball podcast. Um,
I love
but when
that.
I started it, I didn't want to I didn't want to load too much on my plate, because a lot of people don't know that it's not just get a camera and turn on a microphone. Like, it's not that. Like, there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes. Like, you got to make sure you got stats and, and I mean, just everything. Keep up with schedules and recruitments and transfer. Like, it is just so much. So if you jumping into football and, basketball, soccer, and all of that, now I'm loading my plate up too much. And I ain't got time to be figuring out, oh, she had this many spikes in this game, or he got 4 hole-in-ones in golf, and I don't have, I can't do it. I can't do it. So men's, women's basketball, this is the home for that. And this is, we growing something big over here. Taliyah, I appreciate you stopping by. It's like I said, it's been an honor. I truly, 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 truly am grateful and appreciative of it. Didn't know when we was gonna get this done, but hey, we got it done. We got it done. So, I thought, I didn't know if I was a bugger or like bugging you and all of that. I was like, man, I don't want to bug her or anything, but man, this would be a great interview. Like, this would be perfect timing for it too. Like, so, but once again, like I said, I absolutely appreciate it. And listen, anytime, there's an open invitation to all of my guests that have been on here. Have an open invitation. All they got to do is just reach out and say, hey, I need to stop by the Zell Dome. We just make it happen. So, I mean, you got the contact information. We can make it happen whenever you feel like you want to stop through. If you want to come back through before season start, or I'm sure, hopefully you'll be back. I hope you will. But before you decide to come this way, we can do that whenever you want. So it's an open invitation. I had to put that out there and let you know that. So
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you for having me on the show, taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate it. It means a lot, and I'm happy to share my story and why I chose one of the best schools.
And not one of them, the best. You got to get that right, Taliyah. You got to get that.
Yes, my fault.
The best.
The best. Yes, the best.
Listen, I'm being easy. All of these other Carolina fans, they can be like, wait a minute. No, the best. The best. Of course they be joking, but the best. Not one of, no, the best. So
the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate it, and everybody, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for watching. Like I said, once again, Taliyah's information will all be in the description. Always a great day to be a Tar Heel. Until the next time, we'll see y'all.